Hi, welcome to another episode of Nerd Supernova. I am your host, Paul Michaels, and your co-host.
KJ McDermott.
Today we are discussing Infinity War, which, as far as we can tell, is the highest-grossing opening weekend of all time, and also the highest-grossing second weekend of all time now for domestic run.
Fastest movie to $1 billion.
In 11 days, I think it beat Force Awakens by like one or 2 days. I think, yeah. Money stuff aside, I'd say it's a well-crafted movie. Would you say it's well-crafted?
There's a lot of good things about it. My biggest thing about it, like comic books aside, is the pacing of it is awesome.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert right now.
We're gonna go into full spoilers.
It's been a week. If you haven't seen it yet, shame on you. Go see it a second time. Wait, what? But the pacing of it, with that many different characters and different locations, different storylines, it keeps moving.
Mm-hmm.
Even in like spots where they do a lot of like exposition and backstory and plot and here's what's happening, it keeps moving. Like, that's my biggest pro for it.
Okay. Do you have a con? If there's a biggest con?
We'll go into that later.
Okay.
I want to hear some of your thoughts first.
Well, okay. So I mean, as you know, I'm more of a DC guy. I do love a lot of the Marvel movies, but overall, like, I just kind of want that more for DC. But that's a whole nother side topic. But overall, I've enjoyed the MCU. But I would say, and I'm saying this as preamble to this, but so far, I was discussing with another friend of ours, Ronnie, but I was discussing the fact that I would say that Phase 3 so far, in terms of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, is probably one of their best. Like, as of right now, I would say their like weakest film in Phase 3 is Doctor Strange, and even then, you could argue that movie is still like
still a great movie.
Yeah, you can still argue that
that's the weakest one. Though.
Yeah, like it's still
not bad.
It's still like a well-crafted, like well-made movie. It's just a little bit by the numbers for me personally. But like if that's your worst one in that phase, like that's pretty damn good. Like they've really just been really hitting their stride at this point. And I would say it culminates in Infinity War. This is easily probably one of the best and most well-crafted comic book movies that I've ever seen made. Is it my personal like favorite, like top number one? I'd have to argue with that because I think, you know, Dark Knight or Logan or other types of movies.
I still like Dark Knight. Yeah, Logan too.
But like
as comic book movie ever, this one
it's more in the fact of
I give it credit for cramming a lot of stuff
into one movie.
Even as long as it is for that short of a movie, they crammed in a lot of stuff, a lot of characters.
But it didn't feel bloated, and it didn't feel like you would think it would.
That's what I'm saying. Like the pacing was great with 32 lead characters. Jesus Christ! Like,
yeah, it's never been done before. I think in this capacity. Like, I mean, this kind of like culmination. The only thing.
Wait until DC comes out with like Justice League Unlimited, and they have like 32 characters in their Justice League movie, and
I'll worry
know any of them because they never introduced them.
Look, I'll worry about that when DC is allowed their own studio and they can actually get shit off the ground without having to deal with Warner Brother executives just sabotaging the universe at every turn. So, and you know me, I say that in the full love of Man of Steel and BVS Ultimate Edition and all that shit, and Wonder Woman, obviously. No, honestly, the only thing I can think of close to this kind of experience in my lifetime is maybe Harry Potter, because that was like a 10-year experience too, you know?
Building up.
But even then, you had maybe like six to seven movies before that. This is like almost 20 films before this film to like where it kind of all accumulates together. And actually, it's only part one of a bigger movie, like Avengers.
Which so many people didn't realize that, like,
because I think it's because the retitling. I think it threw people off.
Well,
I mean, I'm saying regular.
They're not doing like a part one, part
two. Yeah.
Where it's like, well, Empire isn't called
Star Wars Part 2. You know, no, I got it.
Well, it kind of is with.
Well,
episode this.
That's the thing I've noticed though too. Like, it's not even just Marvel. Like, I've noticed that like in the last 10 years, they never really call things by number titles anymore. Like the Fast and Furious movies all have different subtitles. Even the sequels in Marvel themselves have subtitles.
Infinity War is still more believable than some of the Fast and the Furious movies.
All right, that.
Sorry.
No, I mean,
Physics. How do they work?
I don't know. If you have the reality stone, it can be anything you want it to be. No, so
So wait a second. He has reality stone. He can do anything he wants. Why doesn't he just make more resources?
yeah, I know. There's
I
look,
know you've seen that too.
everyone's been talking. There's I mean, obviously you're gonna find flaws. I think I think more than any other directors and writers in the MCU, like this team especially. The writers who have done this did all of the Cap films, and the directors did Winter Soldier and Civil War. But these guys, like they know what the requirements are from fans. They know the expectations, and they try to plan for almost everything. You can tell when they make a movie.
See, that's one of the great things I want to touch on. Is like the whole Thanos thing. They've been building him up,
Mm-hmm.
and they gave you a little bit of his backstory without bogging you down with it.
Yeah.
They didn't do a whole like origin story.
Mm-hmm.
They did a couple little flashbacks. They did a him with like doing the reality of like, oh yeah, this is my planet.
Yeah.
This is what it used to be. This is my plan.
Yeah.
But they didn't go into too much of his backstory.
Yeah.
It's like you know him. Here's what he's doing. Here's a little bit.
I think other directors and other writers would literally have just started with an actual origin story,
Right.
And then fast forwarded to the Thor
he's
scene.
Still in like so much of the movie as a villain,
Mm-hmm.
and you get enough to know where he's coming from, what he's gonna do,
Yeah.
without going overboard on it, which I thought was a really good touch.
Now, I talked to Ronnie about this, and I think he had different things to say. But again, we were kind of up in the air. I don't know if you know better. But I wanted to make a point about the whole him talking about his planet. And Quill Star-Lord makes a point too to say that the planet is off by about 8% access. The thing that's not mentioned in the movie, but again, I don't know if they're being true to the comics here because I don't know how much they're going to follow it. But I believe in the comics, after he was banished from Titan, he's the one that came back and destroyed the planet. Like, is that not true, or was it already destroyed and he was just fighting over other people for the planet? I can't remember.
But then again, it's the movies.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm wondering if they're following that through, or if they're just making it that like, no, they killed themselves essentially. No, I'm just saying like, but I was asking more your point. Like, is that the truth, or in the comics did he?
He's
did
the
he?
one who comes back and destroys the planet afterwards.
Okay,
yeah.
so that was the case then. Okay, that's where we were kind of confused. We were wondering if he had actually destroyed the planet, or if he had just come back to get like the remnants of it after it had destroyed itself. So we were actually
the cool thing
arguing
is
about that.
The flashback, everybody there, if you notice, they're not purple skinned.
Mm-hmm. So
it's like, what?
I found this out.
Yeah, you talked to me about this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
well, no, in the original comics, or when Iron Man 55, where Thanos first appears, since then they've talked about how the purple skin is actually a defect of himself or whatever, and that everyone else kind of looks more or less like normal, and pale face.
Who don't know, on the planet Titan, all the Titan people, they're like all perfect. They're beautiful. They're gorgeous. They're perfect beings.
Yeah.
Thanos is born and he's purple with a weird chin, and they're like, "Oh my god, what's up with that?"
Yeah, and his mom tries to kill him.
That's the story that they're selling.
Yeah, this is like stuff that they added in much later down the line. But in the original comic, his father and his brother were also purple skin.
Yep.
And it was only later that they retconned it. And if you see in the original comic, it's still like that. But if you see any more reprints of that story, they switched it to make the coloring like that, so to keep consistent with the continuity and everything.
Switching a backstory and a fictitious character, that's weird.
I don't know. But I just wanted to get an idea about that. I still love the idea of him talking to Strange and talking about the idea of like, oh great, you're a prophet. No, I'm a survivor. I like that aspect to it.
That's what I'm saying. Is like I liked that they hinted and they showed some of his backstory without giving like a whole here's my origin.
Yeah. No, dude, like I've said to you, like villains, the best ones are ones that you understand. You don't necessarily agree with them, but you understand like where they're coming from.
Like, I was talking to a lot of people that went to the movies and friends and random strangers being like, they built him to be kind of sympathetic.
Yeah.
Like you can see where he's coming from. And like that's the best thing about a villain is like not just somebody who just like wants to kill everything. It's just no, okay, he learned that okay, resources are finite. Like there's a certain amount of resources.
Mm-hmm.
All right, there's too many people, overpopulation. The best way to do this is to kill half people.
Yeah, and that's the best part. They make a point to state that it's not it's not like just the poor. Like he does it at random.
He does it
like
at random.
it's everybody.
Yep.
Like everyone suffers the same essentially. Which is interesting. I loved the whole small Gamora origin. I thought that was really well
Yeah.
done. I love the girl they got
Well,
looks
that
exactly
too,
like
that
her too.
Especially when he's showing her like the knife.
Hmm.
He's like, oh, perfectly balanced.
Yeah.
It adds so much more to his character as well when he's meeting her. It's like it's perfectly oh, too much one way, it tips. Too much the other, it tips. You have perfect balance.
Yeah.
It adds more to him about the whole balancing of things.
The a lot of other viewers have pointed out too. The device he gives her is very much reflective of Gamora because at first what he shows her looks like to be a toy, and then he hits a button and knives pop out,
Yeah.
meaning that that's him.
You didn't have that in the Cradle? You didn't have like a toy knife like
No.
that pops out both sides?
No, that wasn't my style.
Just,
No.
just me? No.
But again, it's subvertive of showing of how she becomes later like an assassin for hire,
Yeah.
essentially. Well, not for hire, but you know what I mean. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of great subtlety to it. There's a lot of good dark moments into it. But the Russos, I think more than anyone else, because we talked about this, and I use Winter Soldier as the balancing act. I said every Marvel movie does not need to be like a joke fest. They need to have that balance of like Winter Soldier, where you have dark moments, but you have jokes on the side to balance everything out. This is done really well.
Good because you have the characters who make jokes in their films,
Like
make
Guardians,
jokes.
yeah.
You got Peter Quill. Yeah, you got Iron Man at times when like the Hulk is trying to Hulk,
Yep.
and he's like, "You're embarrassing me in front of the wizards."
Yeah.
Like, obviously Tony's gonna say that type of stuff, but
Mhm.
you don't have the serious characters making the jokes.
I just want to say, I mean, for me personally, and again, this is all like personal preference, but like I felt like the first act of this movie was like some of the quickest pace. Like it was one of the best first acts I've seen of a film like
Well,
ever.
It starts right out.
No, but I mean, like everything about it not only was good, like it felt like a comic book. And I was talking to Ronnie about this too. Like all like the
Well,
movies.
even, like the framing and the shots for different scenes felt like a comic book.
Yeah,
panel.
when Peter's
When
chasing.
you're looking at Heimdall down there and he's like reaching for something and you see him like looking over and like the feet are there walking over him.
Yeah.
Like the opening shot, and it's like that's a comic book.
Hmm. Or when
Like
Hulk.
somebody he's like down, like the feet walking over him, like
Yeah.
that's the panel.
Or Hulk being thrown to Earth into
Yeah.
Doctor Strange. That's right out of a comic book.
Right? Like
All the time. There's a lot of great moments like that, and the whole scene with Spidey chasing Ebony Maw right out of a comic book. For me, the film starts to throw the pacing off just a little bit, but again, this is more for my personal preference when it gets to the Guardians. Just not that I don't dislike the Guardians, I just don't find them as fascinating as like Doctor Strange and Spider-Man and Hulk and those characters, because those are ones I'm more familiar with. Still, the Guardians are in the movie, and they still keep their personalities. Like they don't change over.
They don't change over because it's a different type of movie.
I had heard they
same
either
character.
consulted or they let James Gunn write most of the Guardian scenes. Like
Really?
I think essentially they
Well,
gave
that's cool.
they gave him the idea of where they needed the scene to go, but he would just write out the dialogue, so it still felt like them, and didn't feel like somebody else writing them essentially. Which honestly is a pretty smart
Honestly,
idea.
I was very sad when Drax got like cubed in like a statue and died, and I thought that was gonna be his death. I was just like,
Yeah. Well, apparently that was something
I-
that was directly out of the comics too, because he had done that with two separate characters, with Eros and somebody else. I think maybe Adam Warlock had done the block. Yeah, he puts them into blocks, and then the reality reverts back when they leave and stuff. So same idea, I guess. But yeah, I want to say something right off the bat, because if we're on the subject of Guardians, and I've had interesting conversations with people about this. Star-Lord is a huge factor in this movie,
oh no shit.
as far as like how things go out, and you wouldn't think that originally going into the film, but
An unspoken thing, but let me get super angry about it.
yeah, and he hits Thanos enough to get him to allow him to grab the gauntlet back, which then of course leads to the end of the movie.
But
And
see, I have an issue with that too, because you think a Celestial that she was making sleep beforehand with Ego, the living planet.
Mhm.
She was making him fall asleep for a long period of time. You would think that, like, okay,
well, does the gauntlet by definition?
yeah, true. He's got the.
I was
stones
well,
there.
no, I was gonna say, because I don't know. Like in the comics,
She's trying to like make him sleep. It's like, oh, she's doing stuff.
does it amplify all of your powers once you wear the gauntlet? Like, does it amplify
The
who you
gauntlet
are?
itself, no, but like the gauntlet with the stones, that's different.
Okay, but I'm just saying, like with all the power, having it
Yeah,
on,
that could be it.
even not at full power with all of them together, I would think it. Well, my thing is that, not looking into that too much, but like is that what Peter does obviously ends in disaster. Obviously, it is bad. Like his own life is is forfeit for it at the end of the film. But I did notice though, out of pretty much all of the Avengers, and I wrap Guardians in there as well. I did notice that only Peter and only Vision and Scarlet Witch are the only Avengers in the entire film that actually are there. They take that step to do the deed that they need to do so that Thanos cannot grab the stones. The only problem is that it gets reverted because of what Thanos has the power. Like for instance, he promised Gamora that he was going to kill her if Thanos grabbed her and stuff like that. And Quill did pull the trigger. The problem was that bubbles came out and it was too late.
The reality thing.
Mm-hmm. And Scarlet Witch, obviously,
which I liked that because then he's just like, I like you.
Yeah.
He doesn't kill him. He just teleports away. He's like, I like you. Like he recognizes like, all right, he pulled the trigger. I like you, and then he disappears. Like leaves him alive for that little bit.
Yeah, he got Dad's approval. Congratulations.
Yeah.
But no, he does that, and then Scarlet Witch, she has to be coerced, but she does it. She kills Vision.
Kill her. He just kind of bats her away.
Yeah, he's like, nope. I need my time and gotta get my robot back. But that's
robot.
Well, he is a robot.
Yeah.
I mean, or I don't know, synthetic life form. But yeah, they're the only 3 people of the entire Avengers who are willing to do what needs to be done. I know it sounds cryptic. I would think Doctor Strange does too, but there's something more to that with him giving up the Time Stone.
If fucking Steve Rogers could destroy the Mind Stone in Vision's head, he would have.
Probably.
Then again, Scarlet Witch is the only one they explain that she's the only one who can manipulate it to destroy it. I'm pretty sure a lot of the other characters,
I'm just
T'Challa, if
okay. Oh, hold on. I'm just okay.
Could destroy the stone. He would.
You're making a good point. I'm just saying that I got
the ability to.
I got sidetracked because every person in this movie gives up a stone, with maybe exception of Doctor Strange because of how he's seeing the future. They give up a stone to save someone.
Yeah.
Loki gives up the Tesseract to save Thor. Gamora gives up the Soul Stone to save Nebula. The Reality Stone is already gone. Well, technically, again, Quill. Like I said, Quill was the one gonna pull the trigger so that something else can be done later, but that gets thwarted. I'm pretty sure everyone just died on Xandar with a Nova Corps there.
That's something that kind of irks me.
So
I wish I could have seen that.
Yeah, so I was irked by that too, but you got to think logically in terms of the universe because we don't really need to see it. I'm saying with it.
He showed up, but then again, when I destroyed Xandar, it's the whole planet, or you just attack the building and get the stone and leave.
Think about what their plans are for future films. They're going to want to extend. Yeah, they're going to want to extend. And what are they probably going to open with the Nova film? It's probably going to be Xandar being destroyed, and then the Nova Corps is going to go find another new member, which is probably going to be Ryder.
Okay.
So that's what they're probably saving that for. Also, because Infinity War is going to be the biggest movie ever, all the Marvel nerds, and I put that in quotation marks, will get I'm saying regular moviegoers will be like, oh, this is from Infinity War when he destroyed their planet to get the stone, and so it'll be like, oh, and then of course the movie will just continue on from there. That's probably why they saved that for that. I'm saying that's what it seems to be the case, and I think the directors might have confirmed that, but I could be wrong. What else was it?
Red Skull.
Dude, I was so happy to see that because
bring him back.
Well, see, one of the movies that I love, that I consider underrated in the MCU is the first Avenger.
Yeah.
And when everyone brings up villains,
it was always a big thing on the internet. Did he get burnt alive or was he transported?
I always knew he was transported.
With Red Skull holding it. Was he getting fucking disintegrated, or was he getting transported? It was a big debate for the longest time, and now it turns out, okay, he was.
I kind of guessed that he was transported because not only did it look.
That's what the Tesseract did to a lot of people.
Yeah, they show it in Avengers, and they show it in the Thor movie, which came out before Captain America. Yep. So I knew that was on purpose, and I was like, he got transported. Where? I have no idea. But did you know that that's not Hugo Weaving? In the movie.
I knew that.
Oh,
you could tell.
Oh, okay. I thought it was Hugo Weaving the first time I saw it. I only found out later.
The voice is different.
Yeah,
obviously
slightly different.
The makeup you can't tell from the makeup.
Well, what I like though is that
But
he's
the
been
voice,
there.
He's trying to, and if you actually look up the actor who it was, which I forget his name right now.
He's from Walking Dead, but he does a lot of celebrity impressions.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
does a lot of impressions, and they're spot on.
Some of them are pretty spot on. Some of them are a little off. But I thought he did a very good job. I was fooled the first time I saw it, so I think he did a very good job. However, when you watch the film later and you know the difference, I think it still works because he's probably been up there for like 90 years. And
that's what he says. He's like
yeah.
a lifetime ago, considering he was teleported when Cap was flying the plane and was like crashing.
Yeah.
And that's 70 years, 80 years.
Yeah.
He's been there for that long.
He's a 100-year-old man,
he's like,
at least.
Lifetime ago. Like,
and he's probably only either alive because of the serum in his blood, or because the Soul Stone might keep him alive to guard.
I think that he's like a slave to the stone. That's why when you first see him, he's like floating down. He's not like walking down.
He's floating down.
He's like floating down. He's a slave to the stone at that point.
Yeah, I think
then again, now that somebody got the stone, what happened to him? Is he dead or is he?
He's probably went back to Earth. Because if you notice when because again, Thanos kills Gamora to get the Soul Stone.
It blows up a little bit, and he's launched from the pillar up into the water.
But we don't see where Red Skull is, so I'm assuming that portal might have brought him back home. And 100-year-old Red Skull walking around.
I smell a sitcom.
Hey, he would have a lot of interesting supporters with the alt-right.
Like,
yeah.
When I was banished to a different planet, I didn't even know.
If the Red Skull,
when I came back home, I'd have some followers. I'm the Red Skull. Red Skull.
I don't think Red Skull would have a hard time starting up a little army if he were to come back to America.
Hydra 2.
Hydra version 2.0. This time we're cooler.
You cut off the head, we gain twice as many. Oh ho ho!
God. But yeah, man, I think that's opening some doors. I think what they're going to do, obviously, is I think Red Skull will come back, but they're going to save it for a Bucky Cap film.
That's to introduce the next Cap.
Yeah. Well, also too in the comics, in Brubaker's run, if I'm not mistaken, Red Skull actually, uses the news against Bucky because Bucky's an assassin. And it's like, do you really want an assassin being the next Captain America? I guarantee that's going to be a thing in the next couple movies and stuff. And then we'll see how Bucky's able to do his job still, if he wants the role and everything. I don't know what this whole thing is with wanting to make him White Wolf, which seems
that's weird to me.
Well, I mean, I don't mind White Wolf, but White Wolf is not Bucky. White Wolf is
Bucky.
It's a whole separate character.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that being said, I was glad he got a new arm. The rocket jokes aside were pretty good.
Okay, so I do have some nitpicks.
Okay.
I was waiting for us to get into it a little bit to see if you picked up on them, but like
I have a lot of nitpicks, but I mean, all right. Well, I'll let you get into it, and then I'll counteract.
My first two nitpicks. Where's Valkyrie? Where's Kraglin?
You mean Krog?
No, Kraglin from Krog too, but whatever. Valkyrie, who was on the ship with is it Korg or Krog?
Oh no, sorry, it's Korg.
Korg.
The rock monster. Yeah, sorry, I mispronounced that.
End of Ragnarok, they're on the same ship.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, that's the same ship that's the beginning of Infinity War, like and it's getting destroyed, and like there's a bunch of like dead people, but is Valkyrie dead?
No.
I don't see her as a character who would run away and leave.
No, so I thought about that, but from
the actress posted on her Twitter like as a joke, being like, "Oh, she's at the bar because like she's drinking so much in like the movie." But like I'm like, yeah, but still, they were on that ship.
From what I know, it's not made blatantly clear, at least the first time you see it. So I get that, but Thanos only destroys half
of them.
Yeah,
he says that too.
He does
blows up the whole ship.
But everyone is already dead on that ship. Like
so
everyone.
Another ship that.
No, they've already evacuated. Those people have been evacuated.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that Valkyrie and Korg are on that ship.
Cool.
Are on those ships.
Kraglin, who?
Well, who's Kraglin? I don't remember who Kraglin is.
Gunn's brother, cousin, gets the fin at the end. Soup. Soup, that character.
Are we
Guardians
talking?
of the Galaxy.
Okay, we're talking the other.
Yondu is like second in command.
Yeah.
Kraglin.
We're talking what remains left over from that, from essentially.
Guardians 2.
Yeah.
He gets the fin. He has the whole whistle.
Okay,
thing,
but you're asking where he is.
Yeah, because he was with them. He was with the Guardians. He was on their ship. And then he just disappears.
You remember? Just to make this clear, you know that Guardians 2 takes place only a few months after Guardians 1.
Yes,
Like 4 years pass in between those movies.
Yeah.
So he's just not on the ship anymore. Where was Nebula? She was already
Nebula left in the movie though. She took a ship and she left in Guardians 2.
She did.
Yes.
Okay.
She left to go like
Understand? I didn't marathon the movies before this because I've seen.
Gamora tried to stop her and she's like, "No, I'm leaving." And she leaves. Kraglin was there in like a mid-credit scene where he was.
All right. Well,
he's still on the ship with them.
That being said,
he calls Peter Quill captain, which means he's staying there with them. But then
that being said,
he's not gonna get a new Ravager ship.
Okay, but that being said, the movie takes place like 4 years ago, so he may have left. We don't know where he is.
Yeah, okay.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's necessarily a plot hole. I'm just saying he just may have left. We don't know. Maybe he died somewhere in between. We don't know.
Maybe he did get another like Ravager ship.
Probably. But if he's not on the ship, it just means he's not on the ship. Doesn't mean like he's abandoned anyone.
No, it's just
okay.
When you go from one to the other, you're just like, wait a second, these characters when we last left them were with these guys.
Yeah.
Now they're not.
If I were to marathon the Guardian movies, I would just marathon them back to back. I wouldn't do it in the order in which it was released, just because it literally takes place.
Okay.
Yeah.
My other nitpick.
Okay.
Later in the movie, when they were attacking Wakanda,
mm-hmm.
they launched the Wakanda has the force field around it.
Yeah.
They only open it up in one little section where
mm-hmm.
people like run in through. How did the guy get into the Vision Chamber?
I think
Black Order dude. How did he get in there?
I'm assuming it's probably something to do with his powers, his power set. Here's the thing. I don't know his.
And he's like already in the building when they're just like when Scarlet Witch leaves. She's like, all right, like she's left. You can do it now. He's already in there. So it's like.
I didn't think about it too much.
He either has like fucking sprinting shoes from that opening to be like, and like run up there really, really quick to not be even seen.
Well, there's two things because I think they also depowered them somewhat from the comic books. The characters, the Black Order there. I don't know what his power set is though. Maybe invisibility. It's hard to say, but I don't know how he got up there.
That was one thing that like immediately I was just like, but wait,
how did he get up there?
How did he get up there so quick? How did he get there?
All I know from watching.
They launched a whole spaceship.
Yeah.
Into that and it blew up like so.
All right. Oh, so I want to make this clear. You watched the movie twice. I've watched it 4 times.
4 times, goddamn.
Well, okay. Well, I've seen it 4 times, but I think the thing was, at least this doesn't give an excuse to it, but the way that they play it out, you're made to think that maybe he died when they fought Cap and Black Widow and Falcon, because when they're going away. And then she's like, okay, go get it now. And then he just kind of just shows up. So maybe they thought he was dead, so they weren't looking for him. I don't know, but I don't know how his
I get the fact that they're not looking for him.
No, but I don't know how his power set. There wasn't a force field within the
over all of Wakanda. There was like a force field.
No. But by that point, the Black Order. Do you understand? So there's the force field, right? The force field opens. They're all coming in. Those Black Order people.
They can redirect their teleporters to go down over.
I don't know. I'm just saying the Black Order was within the Wakanda where the building was.
Opened like a section, like a doorway.
I understand. Maybe he just got through the crowd, somehow snuck in there. I'm just saying. I don't know. He's one of the tougher ones. Maybe he used some sort of, I don't know, some ability that we didn't see. Maybe it's a deleted scene. I don't know.
I still think Vision is going to be brought back to life by Shuri.
Yeah. So Ronnie had a theory on this.
His body. He's just going to be brought back. He's a robot.
Ronnie.
She got to look at his like schematics and his whole brain,
mm-hmm.
and she was already smarter than Banner and Stark to begin with.
Ronnie had a theory on this.
I'm pretty sure they're going to bring his body back, and she's going to rebuild him and bring Vision back.
Yeah.
That's one of the deaths that are not going to be a death.
Yeah, but Ronnie pointed this out, and I agree with him. In the comics, this actually happened to him because he did have the Mind Stone. I didn't know this. when it got taken out in the comic books, he's he has to essentially like reboot, like from square one. So when that happens, or when he gets brought back, whether Shuri does it or not, I don't know, but that'll be what will happen. He'll come back, and then he'll just
Makes
be
sense.
he'll be back to square one. So
He is just a robot.
so everything that
And
happened,
if she downloaded that thing to start doing stuff, that means
yeah.
maybe they got a floppy disk backup.
But it means that
You know, Wakanda still works on
yeah.
floppy disks.
But it might mean if he goes back to because it might just have his schematics, not his memory. So it means he might go back to square one, which
Yeah.
means everything he built with Scarlet Witch is now,
wiped out.
So if and when she comes back, she might just essentially just go off and because love of her life is just like she's pretty much lost everything at this point, and then when you go back to find out her love is back, to only not remember her or
And
anything
remember
dealing.
when like Quicksilver was like seen on the set, and everybody was like, "Oh, Quicksilver's back."
Do you know who was also seen on the set? Yondu.
Yondu, yeah, I know. They did that on purpose though.
Mm-hmm. They did it on purpose to mess with
To
fans.
mess with people so they didn't know the ending of Guardians 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also the thing too, I think with well, it's hard to say too with like what is going to be in not Infinity War Part 2, but Avengers 4, because there's been stuff dealing with Ant-Man and Hulk and Finite Gauntlet. Well, I don't know, man. It's hard to say what they're going to do.
Avengers.
I kind of hope they don't use time travel to fix everything. I kind of just want them to use it to bring people
Time
back.
travel or multiverse? Which one are you gonna go with?
I don't know.
Just Soul Stone.
I don't know. I just hope that they don't go back in time. I think they're going to, but I hope they don't.
Did you know the Spider-Man scene was like ad-libbed?
Well, the scene itself was written for him to die, but everything
Yeah.
everything with him interacting with Tony was completely Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
He made it up, and I was like, "That's learning about that." I was like, "Oh, good for him."
yeah, man. He's a good actor. He's a talented guy. He just can't keep spoilers to himself. So they literally couldn't give him a full script because they
No.
knew he'd spoil stuff in
Dude,
interviews.
would you be able to like keep a tight lip? Well, then again, if
Yeah.
they're paying me that much money, yes, I could.
Yep. They had to give Benedict Cumberbatch to him during other interviews, like the basically
Babysitter.
yeah.
Yeah. I've
So
seen that.
and they kind of doing it with Mark Ruffalo at this point too, with Don
Yeah,
Cheadle.
considering Mark Ruffalo like spoiled it a while ago, and I was like, "Oh wait, I can't say that."
Yeah, man. I don't know. Do they get fined? Do you think, or like, what does Marvel do about that?
Pretty sure at this point they're just sitting there, be like, "Oh my God, money! We have so much."
Probably. Anyway, I don't know. There's nitpicks, or there's some small issues, but they're more like due to preference than anything.
All right.
The film for me just really works. I don't know.
Let me ask you.
Okay.
There are things. Obviously, Marvel does this all the time. There are scenes in the trailers
That aren't in the movie.
that were in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
That whole trailer.
Where they're all.
It shows Thor with all the lightning around him in like the place.
Well, they obviously cut that because they want his entrance into Wakanda to mean something.
Yeah.
So I got that.
There's the whole the slow mo running scene with the Hulk.
So there's
The
even
Hulk's
toys.
Not even in the movie.
There's even toys of Hulk coming out of the Hulkbuster.
Yeah.
I think
like Lego sets.
I think they made a smart decision though, because I loved Bruce Banner in this movie, but I loved him more because he really was on his own. Yeah. When the guy attacks him and he literally takes the arm and throws it on the guy and then rockets him into the wall, that's brilliant because it's satisfying to see Bruce,
being bruised,
be himself.
Oh, fine, screw you, I'll do it myself.
And the Hulk is always like that too. Hulk never comes out when he wants him to. He only comes out when he's not needed.
Well, that's like the joke dialogue. I know you like to make an entrance, but right now,
Yeah.
do it. Like,
fine, you big green asshole, I'll do it myself.
that's the other thing. I was surprised about how many swears there were in this.
Asshole, shit, douchebag. There's a bunch of them.
It's a PG-13 still.
I mean, dude.
And they got a lot of swears.
I mean, might as well go broke.
Obviously, I've heard them all before, me, but I'm sitting there just being like, families who are taking their kids to see this, and there's a lot of
you know what?
language.
I don't give a fuck. I'd rather they be realistic. I want them
But
to
it
swear.
seems like every character has a swear word. At
Yeah.
least one.
Well, I mean, Spider-Man said "holy shit" in Civil War, so why not?
Yeah.
I'd rather the Avengers act like adults than Like, whoops. Like, I mean, you can have Deadpool in there and he'll get bleeped out all the time. I mean, whatever. But you know, like, I mean,
It'd be a lot shorter movie if Deadpool was in there.
yeah. But
It'd be
honestly,
a lot
though,
shorter movie if Doctor Strange just did like, oh, look at circle around your hand and cut your hand off. Oh, your gauntlet's gone.
so I was
So, yeah.
actually the only thing that really surprised me as far as swearing goes is every PG-13 movie you're allowed at least one F word.
Yeah.
And at the very end of the movie, the end credits sequence, we see,
Motherfucker.
and then he gets cut off. I'm like, no, let him say it because you're allowed one F word. Like, say it. Everyone's already left the theater
Well,
anyway.
maybe you're allowed one F word, but you're allowed like a certain amount of other swears that equal one F word.
Maybe, dude. Literally, like you're joking, but it is probably kind of like that in however it works. But yeah, dude. I mean, at this point, they can afford to buy the MPAA at this point. So I mean, just who cares?
Marvel, Star Wars, all combined, like they can afford anything now.
Mm-hmm. But
They're competing with themselves for box office profits. It's like,
yeah, like when they're congratulated. I mean, granted, they're different. It's different creative teams, but congratulating the Avengers on beating the Force Awakens, it's like you're congratulating yourself. Yeah.
So they always tell you don't applaud yourself in theater. It's like,
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I mean, it's kind of like remember Last Jedi where I just kind of was running out of things to just say because I was just disappointed and sad and I was just miserable at the movie. Like, this is the exact opposite. I don't have much to say, but it's only because like the movie just kind of works. It just kind of works, man.
Theories then. Theories. Soulstone.
Okay, well look.
Soulstone. Everybody who got evaporated or
are gonna be. You think they're in the Soul Stone?
They're trapped in the Soulstone.
Okay.
That's straight from the comic books.
Okay.
I mean, they don't have Adam Warlock there.
Mm-hmm. So explain that to them.
Not
yeah.
yet, but they have the Gamora scene, like baby Gamora seeing Thanos after he snaps his fingers.
Because she's in the Soul Stone.
He doesn't have the wound, so he's just there, and it's all orange. Big fucking giveaway.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "Oh, what did it cost you?" But then again, is it actual Gamora, or is it his version of Gamora?
It's like how he sees her.
Is it how he sees her, or is it actual young little Gamora? Who knows? But and then he comes back to reality, and Thor's like, "What'd you do?" Like, so, and that's why I feel like they disintegrated instead of just falling over dead.
Yeah, because they're going into the Soul Stone.
Like when you die, you kind of just go lifeless, and like the Matrix, like when somebody pulls your plug, like not like this, and then they just fucking collapse.
Yeah.
There's a body there, they're dead. But no, these people
disintegrate. It's also more cinematic and terrifying for small children to watch everyone just evaporate into dust.
I thought it'd be so much more terrifying to just see people go like lifeless and just collapse.
Yeah, I guess.
That
I don't know.
So much more terrifying.
I don't know, man.
Mid sentence, and then all of a sudden, like.
I don't know, man. If you saw your mom like die, like okay, but if you saw her like turn into dust, that's pretty horrible.
And kind of slow with that too.
Yeah, just like you can see like literally parts of her body just turn into dust and.
Get a leaf blower.
But yeah, man. Like I don't know. Either way, I agree with you. They're probably in the Soul Stone. I think they actually might have even confirmed that by now. But okay. Theories. What do you think the fourth one's gonna be called? Infinity Gauntlet?
No.
You don't think they're gonna go for that simple a title?
I don't know what they're gonna call the fourth one.
There's a lot of theories. I think Endgame, Secret Wars. What's another one?
Secret. They're not gonna do Secret.
No,
Wars.
I don't know. I'm getting this is hyperbole. I don't. You know. Let's see. In Gauntlet. What was another one that I heard recently? I can't remember now.
Finite Piece.
Finite Piece. But yeah, man. Yeah, I would say where the movie lost me watching it the first time, like, because again, how death works in this universe. The minute Black Panther vanished, I was like, nah.
Right?
Nah, I don't see that happening.
And they're trying to say, like, oh yeah, a lot of the deaths are big and they're crucial. They're not going to be brought back. Well, I know Spider-Man and at least Black Panther are being brought back.
Yeah, Spider-Man, they're not going to get rid of that cash cow,
guys.
and they're not going to go right to Miles Morales. And Black Panther just made like 1.3 billion at the box office.
Guys.
Like,
You're bringing them back.
Yeah, and they're not going to kill off Guardians. Everyone's
Bucky. You could live without Bucky, but I'm pretty sure you're
No,
bringing back the Winter
what's-
Soldier.
What?
And
What?
Cap is then gonna kill himself, and then
What?
Winter
No.
Soldier's gonna
What?
pick it up.
I was gonna say.
Falcon, we can live without Falcon. like-
That's mean.
Mean, but it's true.
All right, look. I theorize with Tom, and
Groot, they're gonna bring Groot back. He just died again, and like that's.
it's a bit much.
Think of this. Think of this. All of the Guardians are dead again. Rocket only knows that Groot just died again.
Yeah.
He left with Thor. He doesn't know that Gamora, Star-Lord, Mantis, and Drax all are dead again.
Mm-hmm.
Rocket is still there, and all of the other Guardians are now dead.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a.
Do you think it was a good idea to leave Rocket alive? Because this is what I talked with Ronnie about. Do you think it would have been a better idea to have Quill be the only one left? Because of everything that happened with Thanos.
The only way I could see like keeping Quill alive is to live with the guilt that he.
That's what I'm
fucked
saying.
things up.
That's what I'm saying. Do you think that would have been a better decision than keeping Rocket
I
alive?
can see that.
I can also relate more to a human than I can a raccoon. I'm sorry.
A rabbit.
Yes, a sweet
Yeah.
rabbit, but a rabbit nonetheless. But yeah, the minute they started killing off those like premium new characters, I was like, yeah, that's. I already know Guardians 3 and Spider-Man 2 is
I
already
can see
already
Mantis
happening.
staying dead because
No,
Really?
dude, I guarantee that everyone that died, who died or is turned into dust, is gonna come back. The real deaths will happen after the gauntlet is destroyed, and then it's all holds bar out. Like Iron Man will probably die, Cap will probably die,
yeah, I'm expecting Cap to die.
Hulk may possibly die because they don't think they know what to do with him at this point. They can't do the singular movies because they don't want to work with Universal, and Universal doesn't seem to want to work with them for some reason, though I don't know why. I haven't seen anything else about Betty Ross or anything other than Ross running the security
Yeah.
console. So I could see Hulk easily dying, especially in a fight with Thanos.
You think
Thor,
he's gonna choke him out.
maybe Thor could possibly die because like they've pretty much done everything they can with Thor to
And
a
then
certain
bring in
extent.
Beta Ray Bill,
Dude, well, you know what?
Stormbreaker,
Exactly. And Ultimate Thor had Stormbreaker,
I know.
and it would make sense to give it to Beta Ray Bill.
and his face was in Ragnarok.
But dude, think about it. Avengers 5, you would have Beta Ray Bill, Bucky Cap, probably Rhodey Iron Man. You would have all the
Wolverine and
no, but I'm just thinking
all
about it,
of the
man.
X-Men
You
and
would
Fantastic Four,
you would have a whole
and
separate
Ghost Rider.
you would have a whole separate new legacy characters as those characters, you know, like going forward. It'd be interesting. It'd be a way to change things up while keeping them more or less the same. The old guard will most likely die. They're not going to kill off. They're not going to kill off Black Widow.
Feige has said that they have plans up until like 2025
Yeah.
for movies.
What
And it's like
I see
cool.
what I see happening is Phase 4 is going to tease stuff for Fantastic Four and X-Men, and then Phase 5 will
Yeah,
probably
they've
start to
already-
we'll
yeah.
probably start to actually do stuff. But essentially, Avengers 4, a lot of the old guard will most likely die. Black Widow will still be alive because they're going to want to do a movie for her at this
I
point.
think that the solo movie is going to be a prequel.
Probably.
They're going to do a past.
Well, they're going to probably explain what the Red Room is and all that stuff from
Yeah.
Age of Ultron.
They're going to do
Yeah, because
easiest way for them to do it.
Age of
Ultron.
Ultron.
To do another Black Widow 2, it can be another side quest, whatever. Like they have enough wiggle room with her character that they can do whatever they fucking want.
Yeah, and they can give her back her red hair because I don't know what the hell was going on there, and
Yeah.
it looks terrible. And I say that with Scarlett Johansson looking blonde like well
Like,
in
at
real
least they
life.
even made the joke about Cap having a beard. Like,
Yeah,
Thor's like, oh, I see you like you have a beard.
yeah.
Like,
Do you know what it was? It was because they dyed her eyebrows. Without her eyebrows, Scarlett Johansson looks really weird. She just looks really weird with blonde eyebrows.
Loki comes back with like pigtails.
Okay, so I think Loki will stay dead unless Thor uses
Loki and Heimdall are dead.
yeah, unless Thor uses the gauntlet and he uses that to bring back Asgard while wishing everyone else back or something. That's the only way I
honestly
see
think
that.
Something's gonna happen with Nebula. Nebula's gonna die. Gamora's gonna come back.
You think Gamora? See, like I don't know how to feel about
I
that.
think Gamora's gonna come back and Nebula's gonna
Gonna die.
Nebula's gonna die.
See, it's funny too because like
Why would they keep her alive?
I don't know. My thing though is like
I honestly thought
No,
she was
I-
gonna die in this movie.
I'm agreeing with you that Gamora can most likely come back. I just kind of feel bad about it because like her death was so meaningful in this movie to like bring her back kind of negates that.
But that's why he sees her in the soul dimension.
No, I get
That's
it.
why she's theirs, because he's the one, like, he sacrificed her, so obviously she's the one who greets him in the soul dimension,
Yeah,
and especially in her young, pure form.
because it's how he
little
wants.
kid.
Because it's how he wants to see her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how he sees her and envisions her as, like, this young little impressionable child.
That's why he still calls her little one.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm trying to think of anything else we haven't covered. Yeah, like I said, I think essentially the people who died in this will come back, and then the twist will be that all the people from this one who brought them back will most likely get murdered. And like 50-50 chance on pretty much all of them.
Thing,
Well, except for Black
did
Widow.
you notice this? That when he blinks out everybody with the snapping,
Mhm.
do you notice the original Avengers are all alive?
Yeah, well, because they're the old guard that need to go and save
Yeah.
everyone in the next movie. That's why.
It's Cap, it's Banner, it's Iron Man,
Yep.
it's Scarlet Witch, Hawkeye.
No, Scarlet Witch is dead.
Presumably.
Scarlet Witch died.
No, she didn't.
Yeah, she did, dude. She's holding Vision.
Oh no, not I meant Black Widow.
Oh,
Sorry,
okay,
sorry.
okay.
I meant Black Widow, not Scarlet Witch. The original Avengers.
The original from the
the
original first
originals from
movie.
The original movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, but I
Mis-
because it's going to be the old school, and then
It's like
that's
everybody who was added on afterwards, all disintegrated, and then like all the original.
and then
core
by
group.
Avengers 4, Hawkeye and Ant-Man and Wasp will probably join them, and then
Dude, I was saying this earlier today, and then like Ant-Man and Wasp, the movie is coming out soon,
mhm.
and I feel like the after credit scene is gonna be Scott sitting down with like his daughter,
And she's gonna
and
vanish.
she's gonna disintegrate away, and she's gonna be like, "The fuck," like, and that's gonna be what brings him into Avengers 4.
Most likely, and the same thing will probably happen to Hawkeye and his family.
Yeah,
They'll probably
like-
just
It's gonna be some weird scene like that where he's gonna be like all happy and like sitting down to dinner, and then all of a sudden she's gonna like put her fork into her food, and then her hand is gonna just like disappear
oh
or
man,
something weird. Yeah, I'm morbid.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and she's gonna like go to do that, and he's gonna be like, oh, what? Like, that's how I would do it.
That'd be a good way. And then everyone just starts crying again, like no.
Why? Why?
Okay, but overall, what would you get in Infinity War out of say 10?
Out of 10,
Yeah,
9.8.
that's pretty positive.
I
No.
thoroughly enjoyed
No,
it.
I'm
There's
agreeing
a
with
lot
you.
of stuff I really liked about it, but I can't say it's perfect.
No, dude, it's not. Yeah, I would say anywhere from like not like 9.5 and up. It's as perfect a movie for Marvel that they've made.
All right, we're both comic book geeks.
Yeah.
Whatever. For even people who are not comic book geeks, which some of the times I saw it, I had friends that were not comic book geeks. I had to explain some stuff
Yeah.
afterwards. But still saw it, still enjoyed it, and great, cool. Like, that's what I was saying. Like, it explains enough without bogging you down with details.
Yeah.
It keeps the
Well,
movie going.
What
That's
the
what I was saying.
No,
When I
'cause-
opened with the pacing, it keeps it moving, keeps it moving,
the
keeps it moving.
the thing that I agreed with both you and with Ronnie is that the movie rewards you for being a fan.
Yeah.
It doesn't bog you down in any more stuff. It's like, okay, you've watched these movies, we know why you're here. Here's the film, and you can't say it didn't work because the movie is one of the most highest grossing films of all time, and it will
Right.
become. I don't know if it'll beat Avatar at 2.7 billion, but it's going to be at least in the top 3 highest grossing movies of all time. Granted, by the end of the time, by the time it's done.
It's already broken a couple records. I can give it credit there.
Yeah, man, it's going to be. It's going to outgross Last Jedi like nothing, like no one's
just
business.
wait until they come out with like the deleted scenes DVD. Because you know there are some.
Probably, yeah.
There's got to be some.
They might even hold off on it though too, to some extent, because of Avengers 4 and the fact that it's a year off. They don't call it part because they say it's enough of a different movie, but the way I'm seeing it more in like a capacity of say, like Kill Bill 1 and 2. Like Kill Bill 1 and 2 are the same, are one movie, but they're very different in their
But then again,
approaches.
we got Captain Marvel like a month before the next Infinity War.
Is it really a month before?
It's like a month or like 2 months before.
Wow, so they're
Next
really gonna make you
Cut
watch
it
it.
close.
They're
like,
really-
right? Like especially with the teaser at the end.
Well, most of it takes place in the 90s though, so we'll see how it goes. What do you know, because you know more than I do. What do you know about Captain Marvel? Because I know like jack shit. And I know, and only I know most of like Miss Marvel. When she was called Miss Marvel before she became Captain Marvel.
We'll talk about this another time.
Oh, okay. We don't want to go into it?
All right.
Alright, okay. Well, would you say she'll be a big factor in Infinity War then?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Because she can. I don't want to go into it.
Okay. You don't want to. Okay. Just it's enough.
Okay.
All right. Well, overall, I gave like a 9.5 and up. You give it a 9.8. It's a fucking great movie.
It's not perfect. It has flaws,
But it's a great movie. Would you say it's a great movie?
yes.
Okay. So it's a great movie. That's all.
Anybody who's watched any other Marvel movies can be like, "Oh my god! Like this is what it's been building to." Obviously, this is what it's been building to.
Yeah.
It's the big climax.
I want to say my two favorite parts were when Spider-Man is chasing Ebony Maw in the square, and the part where they're all rounding up on Thanos on Titan.
Oh, that the Spider-Man shooting web in his eyes is straight from the comic
Oh yeah, but like
books. Straight from the comic books.
but those two scenes to me felt the most comic book out of anything I've seen in a movie in quite some time.
Oh, I forget what they're called. Doctor Strange when he has like those red.
Yeah,
tendrils,
I don't know what they're
like
called,
the
but that was all a scene.
Crimson lashes of somebody.
Yeah.
And I'm drawing a blank on the name of it.
No,
Like, that's straight from the comic books too. He has those. He can conjure those and then when he does the whole.
I just love the fact that I
want to see it again in 3D because I have not seen it in 3D
I
yet.
saw it on 3D opening night. It's intense. It was intense. Intensity. Can I just say though that I love Doctor Strange 10 times more in both his cameo in Ragnarok and this movie than I did in his own film, which I think is kind of hilarious.
He had the gloves.
Yeah, you know what's weird?
He
Is
had the gloves in the
in Ragnarok he did, but in this one he didn't.
Yeah, he doesn't.
And I'm thinking the only reason he didn't is because he literally had to walk outside, like where he was in like a
That's the
jumpsuit.
cool thing is he's walking out like in a hoodie,
Yeah,
and then when Hulk smashes through,
he transforms immediately.
He literally like transforms his outfit
Yeah,
in like a flick of a wrist.
but it's funny too because half the reason he wears the gloves in the first place is to hide.
Hide the scars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would think it must be just because of time and the fact that he literally went outside, faced a wizard, and then was brought on a ship.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that's why he doesn't have the gloves.
I love the scene with Peter being like, "Oh, we haven't met yet."
Yes.
He's introducing himself to the cape.
Doctor Strange.
Like,
Oh, we just made
no.
it.
When he's introducing him,
Oh, the cape.
introducing to the cape. Oh, we haven't met yet. And the cape just goes away. He's like, "Oh, okay." like. I love that because he thinks the cape is like
Dude,
a thing. He's like,
Tom Holland.
We haven't met yet.
Tom Holland.
Okay.
No, really, man. He is a treasure because like not only was he so good in this movie, he is Spider-Man.
One of my friends is telling me like, I hate the new like Spider-Man. Like, I can't get around him. Like, oh, he's terrible. It was like, he's so much closer to the comic books than any other ones yet. Like, Tobey Maguire, yeah, okay. Andrew Garfield, not at all.
Nah,
But this Tom Holland is Spider-Man.
that's Spider-Man, dude.
He's Spider-Man.
He's got it on both ends.
Yeah. He's Peter Parker and he's Spider-Man. He's got it. Like,
He nailed it, man.
yeah.
It's fantastic. Yeah. So guys, go see the movie. I mean, you don't need us to tell you.
If you haven't seen it yet, go see it. Cause
I mean, pretty much
you'll
everyone.
want to see it 2 times.
Pretty much everyone loves it. I mean, and it's not really that much overhyping. It's really just it's an epic. You kind of have to see it. I'm interested to see where they're going to go with this, and I'm hoping for good things with Avengers 4, and I can't wait to see it in a year. So I'll leave it at that. All right.
Yeah.
So go see it, guys.
Farewell.
Bye bye.